What is going on, guys? Thank you for stopping in today for this YouTube video. This is actually the first video I think ever that's going to be on the white truck. And unfortunately, it's a little bit of a repair. Nothing major, super simple, small issue. But the license plate lights on my truck, for some reason, they started flickering. Like out of nowhere, they'll start like looks like a strobe light at the middle of the night when you look behind my truck. So that needs to get taken care of before A, I get pulled over, and B, it just drives me nuts knowing it's back there. Inside of here are the lights, the replacement lights here, because I have the bodyguard bumpers, so it doesn't have the factory lights inside of there. Second one right here, so we have the two license plate lights. They give you these little tabs that kind of you just squeeze together and it gets connection. I mean, they're not weatherproof or anything. They should never be used, so we'll just throw those right there. And these have a black case on the outside of them here. So the plan is, and if anyone wants the part number on these, like I said, super bright LEDs. And what the plan is to do is to take this black housing off of here and then slip, because the current ones are painted. So we'll go check this out right now. Now this truck I should be putting more content out on, but I mean, it's just been mostly only on my Instagram story. But here's the LML with the bodyguard front bumpers. This is the A2L series. L stands for low profile. And then on the rear, here we are. So you can see, I know it's pretty dirty, but you can see how there's that black housing, and on this one it's white. So hopefully we can just pull that off and then I put those on there. I think we should, yeah, that's pretty much gonna be it. And then up underneath here is where the wiring is tucked into. Can't even see it up in there. But man, this thing needs a bath down here. But first step, let's go ahead and get the tool cart out here, so that way we have everything we need right in front of us. We don't have to keep running back and forth to the garage here. And if you can't tell, I think I'm pretty well due for a garage. We are in dire need of a shop right now. We've been on the search for a while. Here's some parts of that Ford build. Everything is at a nice white tri-coat color there. It's a good shot of it. Drive shafts, I mean, the detail we're going into on this thing. U-joints being painted. Front drive shaft, interior pieces here also painted, like there's the vents, obviously. Center console, fog light, bezels, all that good stuff. But anyways, I'm getting distracted here. So let's go ahead and get the tool cart outside. All right, so now we have everything we could need right where we're working. Now to actually show you guys what I'm talking about, so you don't have to just take my word that they're screwed up, put the parking lights on, and then this side just straight up said I'm done working. This side, it's not flickering right now. Needs some Allen heads there. What I recently got was a set from Capri. It's called like a hex bit set, and that is all these chrome pieces you see here. So it goes the whole way down to your small little, where they at? Small Torx, the big Torx. These are the small guys here. Metric and standard Allen heads. So pretty much it just covers everything. And for power tools, we're definitely not going to want to use any impacts, because that'll strip those out real easily. So even for the power ratchets, I'm not even going to use the big one. I'll use the weaker of the two, the older non-fuel version. So the nut's pretty much just spinning behind there, and the only access is up through here. I can't even show you guys where it's at. So here's a look from where the hitch is at. Looking up at it, there's a train horns and all that, and this custom belly pan innovative put in here. I think the easiest way is going to be able to just take this whole panel out here. Now with this panel dropped down, we have full access to that bolt right here that I need to get on the back side, because this is the license plate wires right here. Got to pull it out here. Now as far as what we're going to use to repair it, we've got these right here. I know they're straight out of China. They are shrink wrap, low temperature solder. So the way these things work is they just go ahead and melt the wires together. And there's a bunch of different sizes here for different gauges of wires. We'll probably end up using the red ones here. And then we'll just hit it with a heat gun. And eventually, once the solder melts, you'll see it just kind of go right into the wires. And then these two little red strips on the end right there, those will tighten up and make a waterproof connection. That's pretty much the outcome right there. You can see it took the solder and just kind of melted it. And then as this thing clamps down and squeezes, because it's heat shrink, it's trying to shrink as it gets hotter from the heat gun here. It just pushes that solder and kind of like squeegees it into the wires there. And then, like I said, those two little red pieces there make a waterproof seal. And then I also wrap this in some Tessa tape as like a second precaution. But I mean, you can tug on these things and they're not coming out of there. So I was skeptical of these things at first. I'm like, nah, there's no way these things are actually gonna melt the solder and do everything correctly. But so far, I've been really happy with it. I want to say this whole set here might have been like 30 bucks for 400 pieces. And now things like ECM wires and things like a real particular I wouldn't use it on. Something like this where it's a simple LED license plate light, I wouldn't think twice about it. Also, going cordless, best thing we ever did. I was actually Jordan's heat gun, but this with the attachment here, so you're not blowing all your heat on the paint or something. If you're in an interior, you're not blowing heat everywhere. That makes it super nice as well. Here's the final product. Like I said, those shrink low solder temperatures, sealing, whatever you want to call them, connectors. And then we ran that Testa tape over it. This is just this stuff right here. A lot of people ask about this. It has like, see if I can zoom in on it. It has like a cloth texture to it, and it's very good at sealing like to itself. So if you wrap it around itself, like this stuff does not come off. You actually find this factory on the Fords, they use it. You also find it on Audi, BMWs. They'll use this stuff from the factory as their like electrical tape. So very good stuff. You can get on Amazon for like a full roll or like 5 rolls for I think $30, something like that. But very good stuff. Now the next step is to just get this cover back onto our light, and then we'll get this back in here and mounted. Actually, before we get it all buttoned up, let's turn the parking lights on and make sure this works. Nothing's more frustrating than putting everything together and you're like, oh shoot, it doesn't work. Some LEDs on in there. Now we can button this thing up and put it all back together, get up our wiring, tidied up, and start the other side. Snap-on screwdriver. The one thing I said, oh Mark, you don't need these, you're just buying it because it's green and it matches your toolbox. Well, to be honest with you, these things are like one of my favorite purchases of Snap-on. It just fits the hands so good, and you don't realize how many times you use it until you have a really nice one, and when you use it, you're like, wow, this thing works great. But I did upgrade to the, I guess it'd be almost like a downgrade to the Phillips head over this one, just because if someone has to change these again, if this ever happens, forbid, I don't want them to have to take this panel off and do all that stuff again. So these screws right here are the way to go for at least the simplicity of things. So guys, with that wrapped up, that pretty much wraps up this entire video. Hopefully, you might have learned something along the way. If not, at the very least, I hopefully entertain you guys. You know, since I'm getting back on YouTube here, I'm starting to get more scheduled with my posts and videos, I should say. Drop down in the comments what videos you want to see. Do you want to see repair videos? Do you want to see me like going over stuff, reviewing things? Like I can go over the white truck, modifications on it. I can go over tools, what I use a lot, stuff like that. So just let me know what you kind of want to see the most of down in the comments below. That'd help me out greatly. Also, what would help me out a ton is if you hit the like button on this. That tells YouTube that I'm a good guy and I'm putting out good videos and I'm trying my best to. So hit that like button, subscribe for future content if you haven't already. Thanks again, guys, and we will see you in the next video.